Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salatu wassalam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. One of the most frustrating things for a believer is when they perceive themselves to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and rightfully so. We are, or at least we believe that we are close to Allah in the sense that we believe in Him and we worship Him, and that we are His friends according to the Quran. Yet when we look at the world around us, we find that there are the enemies of Islam, those who openly attack Muslims, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seemingly giving them a lot of strength, a lot of wealth, a lot of influence, a lot of power. And we begin to question, well, why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doing that? Or to a simpler example, when a person who is distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, disobeys Him, is immersed in many of the major sins, yet they are wealthy, and we, or the individual who is practicing, praying their 5 daily prayers, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make their lives a little bit easier, we see that, why is Allah giving that person, yet I'm going through what I'm going through? And this is quite a challenge. However, in order to overcome that challenge, we need to recognize something, that there's something fundamentally wrong in that perception. And that is the perception, the belief, the notion that wealth is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's pleasure or not. That's what's incorrect. There is nothing in wealth that signals to the individual that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them. It's not in wealth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes that clear throughout the Quran. فَلَا تُعْجِبَكَ أَمْوَالُهُمْ وَلَا أَوْلَادُهُم. Do not be amazed, do not be deceived by their wealth or the amount of children that they have, because back then the more children you have, the more strength that meant for the individual. Do not be deceived by that. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُم بِهَا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make that wealth a source of punishment for them in this life as well as the next life. Yet at the same time, the Quran says or refers to money as well as khair, as good. So is there a contradiction? There is no contradiction. Money in of itself is not a blessing. Again, money in of itself is not a blessing. Money is nothing more than a means to attain something else. If we are on a stranded island with $1 trillion, that $1 trillion means absolutely nothing, because there's nothing to use it for. So wealth in itself, money in and of itself is not a blessing. Rather, what you do with it determines whether it's a blessing or whether it's a curse. If a person becomes wealthy and they start using their wealth in sin, that is taking them away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that wealth is not a blessing. But when someone has wealth and they're using it in that which pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it's a blessing. Wealth in of itself is not a blessing, it's how you use it. But there are other things the Quran makes clear, those are the true blessings. And the greatest blessing, my dear brothers and sisters, the greatest blessing a person can attain is Iman, faith. Why? Because it is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only gives to those He loves. Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah is the friend. This word wali is a strong word, it's a deep one. It means Allah is the friends of the believers. Allah loves the believers and He is their protector. So anyone who believes in La ilaha illallah, that there's nothing worthy of worship, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger of Allah, they have attained a level of love from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the more someone implements that in their lives, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that individual. Iman is the greatest blessing because it is a blessing that has no limits. Wealth has limits. There are some things money can't buy. But when it comes to Iman, it is unlimited. What it can offer is unlimited. How much a person can attain Iman, or how much Iman a person can attain, is unlimited. Not even the prophets, alayhim salatu wasalam, reached the highest point of Iman, there is always more Iman that they can gain. And we will always gain more Iman in the next life. Iman is something that stays with us in this life and in the next life as well. So our belief in La ilaha illallah doesn't end with our death. Wealth, as soon as a person dies, is inherited. It's gone. There is nothing that you can do with it. But Iman is something that gets you into paradise by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Iman is something that will allow you to inherit trillions of acres of land that is just for you. That is the greatest blessing. And among the greatest blessings, and this one is important too, among the greatest blessings is husnul dhann billah, having a good opinion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when you view Allah as someone, as subhanAllah, a being who is positive, always good, that whenever you are in a situation, whether positive or negative, your perception, your belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes and supports you and strengthens you. That is something you cannot buy. When a person is in a situation, in a dire situation, whether they are ill, a financial hardship, whether they are struggling with their parents or with their kids or with their wives, whether it is a political situation or a social situation, when you have a good thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will come and let you know that things are going to be okay because Allah is the one who controls the universe. It comes and tells you and comforts you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is listening to whatever you want to say, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can change any situation no matter how hopeless it may seem. When you have a good opinion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, strong belief in Him, it will always come and support you and give you comfort. People will pay thousands of dollars to go to a shrink or a therapist so that they can listen to you talk or to listen to that person talk. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls out day in, day out, saying, if you need anything, I am here. Whatever your situation may be, there is nothing more powerful than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's nothing too complex Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can't solve. It's not about wealth. It's not about the worldly pleasures. That comes and goes. It's not an indication of anything. Rather, the indication, the true blessing is Iman. Knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and having a strong relationship with Him. It is endless. It will always be with you in this life and in the next life. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the people of Iman, to help us have a good opinion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to teach us who He is so that it's a source of comfort for us in this life and infinite blessings in the next life. We have a request for a dua. The sister of our dear brother Zafa Sadaqat Chowdhury, she just finished a major surgery and she's recovering now, and the recovery part is just as complex, if not more complex, than the surgery itself. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give her a speedy recovery, to help her be patient through her hard times, as well as all believers and all Muslims across the world who may be suffering or going through a hardship. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease their pains and grant them patience. وَقُومُوا إِلَى صَلَاتِكُمْ يَرْحَمُكُمُ اللَّهُ.